In a world that constantly demands updates and applause, we often feel like every step forward must be broadcasted. But here's a truth: true success doesn't need an audience, it only needs your commitment, your belief, and your willingness to keep going. When you work in silence, you allow yourself the space to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow without the pressure of performance. This silence becomes your sanctuary, a place where you build yourself stronger every day. No applause, no validation, just you and your dedication. Self-belief is the foundation of everything. It is the silent force that propels you through every challenge, every setback, and every moment of doubt. In a world that is constantly looking for external validation, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of believing in yourself before anyone else does. The reality is, no one else can truly understand the depth of your dreams, the urgency of your goals, or the significance of your purpose the way you do. The world may overlook you, underestimate you, or even dismiss your potential, but none of that should ever shake the belief you have in yourself. When you rely on external validation to push forward, you give away your power. It becomes a cycle where your worth is dictated by the opinions of others. Today you may be applauded for your work, but tomorrow that applause may fade, or worse, it may not come at all. If you base your self-worth on recognition, you're living on shaky ground. The applause is temporary, the likes are fleeting, and the praise is often not as fulfilling as it seems. But self-belief, rooted deep within you, becomes a constant source of strength. When you believe in your abilities, your potential, and your vision, you don't need the validation of others to keep going. Your belief becomes the fuel that drives you forward, even when things seem tough. Believing in yourself is not about arrogance or blind confidence. It's about having the courage to trust your instincts, your skills, and your capacity for growth. It's about recognizing that you are capable of evolving, learning, and improving, even when your progress isn't immediately visible. The journey towards your goals is not linear, and it's filled with moments of doubt, uncertainty, and struggle. It's easy to want to quit when things aren't going as planned or when others are succeeding faster than you. But in those moments, the most important thing is to hold on to your belief in yourself, to remember that growth takes time and persistence. When you work with self-belief, you build resilience. Every setback becomes a lesson, every failure a stepping stone towards success. You begin to see the obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to test your strength and resolve. You begin to understand that failure is not a reflection of your abilities, but a necessary part of the process of growth. The more you trust yourself, the more willing you become to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, and to embrace the challenges that come your way. Self-belief gives you the courage to move forward, even when the path is unclear, and it empowers you to take ownership of your journey. This self-belief also frees you from the need for constant approval. We live in an era where social media constantly feeds us a stream of curated lives, success stories, and highlight reels. It's easy to get caught in the trap of comparing yourself to others, thinking that if you don't measure up to what you see online, you are somehow falling short. But self-belief teaches you to focus on your own unique path, on your personal growth, and on your individual timeline. It reminds you that your success does not need to look like anyone else's. Your journey is yours alone, and it doesn't have to be validated by the world around you. What matters is that you believe in your vision, your capabilities, and the path you are forging. When you believe in yourself, you develop a deeper connection to your purpose. You begin to understand that your work, your mission, your contribution is not about seeking external rewards, but about fulfilling something deeper within you. It's about the internal satisfaction of knowing that you are working towards something that aligns with your values, your passions, and your vision for the future. Self-belief helps you stay focused on your why, even when the world around you is filled with distractions, doubts, and negativity. It keeps you grounded in the knowledge that your purpose is greater than any momentary setback. In the end, self-belief is what allows you to rise above the noise. It empowers you to keep working hard, even when no one else is cheering for you. It's the quiet force that keeps you going when everything else seems uncertain. It's the internal compass that guides you toward your goals, even when the road ahead seems difficult or unclear. When you believe in yourself, you are not bound by the opinions of others, and you are not swayed by the passing trends of the world. You become anchored in your own truth, and that truth is the foundation upon which your success will be built. Success is not born from hype or fleeting moments of attention. It is forged in the quiet consistency of daily effort, in the persistence to keep going even when there's no one around to celebrate your wins or acknowledge your struggles. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of instant recognition, the desire to make a big splash, or the fantasy of achieving greatness overnight. But the reality is that true success isn't about the loud moments, the viral posts, or the one-time achievements that make everyone look at you. Success is built on consistency, on the day in, day out grind that doesn't ask for applause but simply demands that you show up. When you focus on consistency, you shift your attention from what others think of your progress to the progress itself. You stop worrying about when or how others will notice your work and instead dedicate yourself to the process. The beauty of consistency is that it doesn't rely on the external noise. It doesn't wait for the world's approval. You continue to do the work because you know that every action you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. Each step builds upon the next, creating momentum that will eventually lead you to success. But it's this consistency done in silence that becomes the true measure of your dedication. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it doesn't require grand gestures. You don't need a huge dramatic change or a viral breakthrough to make progress. Often it's the small, seemingly insignificant actions that compound over time to create the biggest impact. It's showing up every day, even when motivation fades, even when the world around you seems distracted by the noise. It's continuing to put in the work when others are waiting for the perfect moment or a sign of immediate success. This consistency is what keeps you going when the hype dies down, when others lose interest, and when things don't seem as exciting. It's the quiet commitment to the craft, the skill, and the long-term vision that gets you results. True success, when built on consistency, is sustainable. It doesn't burn out in a moment of fame or fail in the face of the next distraction. It's grounded in the belief that your work is valuable regardless of whether anyone else notices it in that moment. It's about knowing that the steps you take today, even if they feel small or insignificant, are leading you somewhere far greater. The discipline to stay consistent in your efforts day after day gives you an edge that others often miss. While they are looking for shortcuts, for the big break or the attention, you are quietly getting better, building deeper knowledge, developing your skills, and refining your process. This consistent focus also cultivates patience. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, where success stories are often told as overnight miracles, it's easy to become discouraged when things don't happen quickly. The desire for immediate results can cause frustration, doubt, and self-comparison. But true success requires the understanding that the journey is not immediate. The most significant achievements often come after years of invisible work. The artist spends hours perfecting their craft long before they ever step into the spotlight. The athlete practices tirelessly before they reach the podium. Success is not about the rush to the top. It's about the slow, steady climb, where each day builds the foundation for something greater. This is where consistency becomes a form of mastery. As you keep showing up, you start to understand the nuances of your craft in ways that can't be learned in one quick sprint. The more you dedicate yourself to the process, the more you begin to master the skills necessary to achieve your goals. Mastery comes from the commitment to improvement, not from seeking external recognition. The true satisfaction lies not in the applause, but in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you are always learning, always growing, and always refining your craft. It's important to remember that consistency is not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or always being at your best. It's about the willingness to keep going even when things aren't perfect. It's about showing up for yourself every day, regardless of how you feel or what the world around you looks like. The consistency of your effort, no matter the size, becomes the bedrock of your eventual success. The reward isn't in the validation or the recognition you receive from others. It's in the knowledge that you kept going, that you trusted in the process, and that your hard work, done in silence, eventually led you to the place where you wanted to be. Success built on consistency is quiet, steady, and deeply fulfilling. It's the reward of knowing that your hard work, done without fanfare, has led you to a place of true growth. It's the pride that comes from knowing that no matter what happens on the outside, you stayed true to your vision and your commitment, and when success comes, it feels all the more meaningful because it wasn't rushed or forced. It was earned, step by quiet step. Discipline is often viewed as the backbone of success, the unwavering force that keeps you focused, even when the road ahead is unclear or unappealing. It's the ability to maintain a consistent effort, day in and day out, without being swayed by fleeting emotions or external distractions. Discipline is what separates those who dream of success from those who achieve it. While passion, talent, and ambition are essential, it's discipline that transforms those qualities into tangible results. It's the quiet, behind-the-scenes work that occurs long before the world notices or praises your achievements. Working hard in silence means committing to the grind, doing what needs to be done, even when there's no immediate reward or recognition. The real challenge, however, lies in the ability to maintain that discipline when things get tough. It's easy to stay disciplined when everything is going smoothly, when your motivation is high and the results are immediate. But the true test of discipline comes in the moments of struggle, fatigue, and self-doubt. It's during these times that most people falter. They look for shortcuts or try to take the easy way out, but true discipline doesn't allow for such compromises. It's in those challenging moments that discipline is at its most crucial. It requires the strength to keep going when everything inside of you is screaming to stop, when the rewards seem distant and the effort feels too great. But this is where real growth happens. It's through the relentless commitment to your goals, even when the journey feels uncertain, that you build the foundation for long-term success. When you work hard in silence, discipline becomes the muscle that you strengthen through consistent action. It's the repetition of tasks that build skill, the focus that sharpens your ability, and the perseverance that keeps you moving forward. Success is not an accident, nor is it handed to anyone on a silver platter. It is earned slowly and steadily through countless hours of quiet, disciplined effort. This is the beauty of working in silence. You are free from the need for immediate recognition, and instead you are simply focused on getting better, one step at a time. Over time, this steady, disciplined approach compounds, creating results that are often far beyond what you initially imagined. The journey may not be glamorous, but the growth is undeniable. The power of discipline also lies in its ability to instill a sense of purpose. When you commit to a disciplined approach, you are making a promise to yourself that you will not give up, no matter how hard things get. This promise anchors you to your goals, reminding you that there is something greater waiting on the other side of this effort. Discipline brings clarity to your path. It cuts through the noise and distractions, helping you focus on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose track of what you're working toward. Discipline helps you stay aligned with your purpose, reminding you that each task, no matter how small, is a necessary part of the bigger picture. What's remarkable about discipline is that over time, it becomes a part of who you are. At first, it may feel like a struggle to stay consistent, especially when there's little external motivation. But as you continue to push forward, discipline becomes a habit. You begin to build a routine that supports your goals, and the effort no longer feels like a burden. It becomes second nature. You no longer need to remind yourself to work hard because you've conditioned yourself to do it automatically. It's this quiet, internalized discipline that allows you to continue making progress even when the external rewards aren't immediately visible. Working in silence means trusting that your discipline will yield results, even if they aren't immediately apparent. Discipline also breeds self-respect. When you show up every day, even when it's difficult, you build confidence in your own abilities. You prove to yourself that you are capable of following through, no matter what. The more you stick to your commitments, the more trust you develop in yourself, and this self-trust becomes a powerful motivator. It's a cycle that feeds itself. The more disciplined you are, the more results you see, and the more results you see, the more committed you become to maintaining that discipline. Working hard in silence consistently, even when no one is watching, creates a quiet pride within you. This pride isn't based on external praise or recognition. It's based on your own internal satisfaction, knowing that you stayed true to your purpose. Discipline also teaches you to value the process over the outcome. It's easy to get fixated on the end result, on the dream job, the finished project, the praise and recognition. But discipline helps you stay grounded in the present moment, in the process itself. It shifts your focus from what you will eventually achieve to what you are doing right now. This shift in perspective makes the journey far more enjoyable and fulfilling, because you begin to derive satisfaction not from the destination, but from the steady progress you make along the way. Each day of disciplined effort becomes a victory in itself. In the end, discipline is the quiet force that drives you towards success. It's the dedication to showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting in the process. It's not about waiting for someone to tell you that you're doing well. It's about knowing deep down that you are working towards something greater. Working hard in silence allows you to build a foundation of discipline that will carry you through even the toughest times, turning your dreams into a reality through steady, consistent effort. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, the ability to embrace delayed gratification is one of the most powerful traits you can develop. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting immediate results, especially when everything around you seems to be moving at a faster pace. Social media, advertisements, and the constant flow of information create an environment where success appears to be just a click away. But the truth is that real success doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't come from the quick, shallow rewards that our society often promotes. True fulfillment comes from the ability to be patient, to put in the work without expecting immediate returns, and to trust that the rewards will come when the time is right. When you embrace delayed gratification, you acknowledge that the journey toward your goals will take time. It's the understanding that the effort you put in today, even if it's not immediately recognized or rewarded, is building something far greater in the future. You begin to accept that growth is a process that doesn't always have a visible payoff in the short term. It requires the trust that your hard work, no matter how insignificant it may feel in the moment, is laying the groundwork for something significant down the road. Delayed gratification allows you to focus on the bigger picture. It encourages you to set long-term goals and work toward them consistently, even when there are no immediate signs of progress. In a world where everything is designed to grab your attention and give you something now, the ability to say no to instant rewards for the sake of something greater is a skill that will pay dividends in the future. It's about understanding that the best things in life are often worth the wait. Just as a tree takes years to grow, flourish, and bear fruit, the most worthwhile accomplishments require time, patience, and nurturing. When you choose delayed gratification, you are choosing to invest in your future self, understanding that the effort you put in now will pay off in ways that are often beyond what you can immediately see. What makes delayed gratification so powerful is that it builds resilience. When you resist the urge for quick rewards, you become more mentally and emotionally tough. You learn to manage your impulses, to avoid distractions, and to stay focused on your goals, even when things get difficult. The ability to delay gratification forces you to become comfortable with discomfort, and it's through this discomfort that growth happens. By resisting the temptation to take shortcuts, you build the inner strength needed to push through the inevitable challenges that will arise along the way. Success that comes too quickly often lacks the depth or resilience needed to sustain it. When you work in silence, building towards your goals without immediate recognition or reward, you develop the mental fortitude to handle setbacks and obstacles, because you understand that they are all part of the process. One of the most rewarding aspects of delayed gratification is the sense of fulfillment it provides. When you put in the time, the effort, and the work without the expectation of immediate praise or acknowledgement, the satisfaction of seeing your results unfold is far greater. Unlike the fleeting sense of pleasure that comes from instant rewards, the joy that comes from delayed gratification is deep and lasting. It's not about getting something fast, it's about the pride that comes from knowing that your efforts, no matter how small, have contributed to the creation of something meaningful. The satisfaction is not just in the outcome, but in the process itself, in knowing that every step you took was one step closer to achieving something that truly matters to you. Choosing delayed gratification also helps you build character. It teaches you to appreciate the value of hard work and perseverance. When you make sacrifices now for something better in the future, you learn to trust in your vision and to believe in your capacity to follow through. You develop the strength to keep going when things get tough and the rewards are nowhere in sight. This builds not only your skill set but also your integrity. You prove to yourself that you are capable of sticking to your goals even when the going gets tough. You learn to value the process more than the outcome. And this perspective shift helps you develop a greater sense of purpose in your work. In many ways, delayed gratification is also about self-mastery. The ability to resist immediate temptations for the sake of long-term goals requires an immense amount of control over your impulses. It forces you to prioritize what truly matters over what feels good in the moment. This is one of the key elements of working hard in silence. You're not just working toward your goal, you're also working on yourself. The ability to delay gratification teaches you that success isn't just about achieving external goals, but also about mastering your inner world. You begin to see that every moment of discipline, every moment you choose to work towards your dreams instead of indulging in distractions, is an act of self-respect and self-control. Ultimately, delayed gratification helps you develop patience, resilience, and the inner strength to face whatever comes your way. When you work hard in silence with the knowledge that rewards will come in time, you create a powerful sense of purpose that helps you navigate the ups and downs of life. Success isn't about achieving something instantly or without effort. It's about the steady, consistent pursuit of your goals, trusting that the work you put in today will create the results you desire tomorrow. By embracing delayed gratification, you free yourself from the need for immediate approval and instead find satisfaction in knowing that your dedication will ultimately lead you to the fulfillment you seek. Growth is a slow and steady process, one that often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible to the outside world. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of quick success, of immediate breakthroughs and transformations, but the reality is that true growth takes time and patience. When you work hard in silence, you give yourself the opportunity to grow quietly without the pressure of external validation or constant comparisons to others. The path to success is rarely a straight line, and growth is often something that happens incrementally in small, almost imperceptible steps. It's in the moments when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, that the most significant personal and professional growth occurs. Growth is often internal before it's external. When you focus on working in silence, you are investing in the foundation of your skills, mindset, and resilience. It's easy to want the recognition, to seek approval from others, and to look for validation from external sources. But the truth is that growth doesn't depend on what others think of you or your progress. It depends on your willingness to keep going, even when it seems like there's no immediate result or reward. The smallest actions, the quiet moments of dedication, and the persistent effort you put in every day are what lay the groundwork for meaningful growth. Over time, as you continue to show up, you'll start to notice the changes in yourself, how you think, how you act, and how you approach challenges. This growth is often unnoticed by others in the beginning, but it is laying the groundwork for the breakthroughs that will come later. One of the most valuable aspects of growth is that it teaches you patience. In a society that often rewards instant results, it's easy to feel discouraged when your efforts don't produce immediate outcomes. But growth teaches you to trust in the process, to understand that every step you take is moving you closer to your goal. Working in silence means that you focus on the things that matter most and avoid the distractions that promise quick rewards. It's about building your capacity, expanding your skills, and strengthening your mindset, knowing that these investments will eventually pay off. Every small effort compounds over time, and it's only through consistent, patient work that true growth occurs. The greatest achievements are often the result of years of hard, unseen work that, when the time is right, suddenly emerges into the light. Working in silence also allows you to focus on the process of growth itself, rather than rushing toward a particular outcome. When you stop focusing on external validation and start concentrating on your personal development, you remove the pressure of trying to meet external expectations. This allows you to grow in ways that feel authentic to you, without the need to constantly compare yourself to others. Growth becomes a journey, not a destination. You start to learn more about yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses, and you gain a deeper understanding of what it takes to achieve your goals. This internal growth is essential because without it, external success is often hollow and short-lived. True fulfillment comes from knowing that you've grown, developed, and improved as a person, not just from achieving a specific goal. The beauty of growth that happens in silence is that it's not always dependent on validation from others. When you work hard without looking for external rewards, you begin to find joy in the process itself. You start to derive satisfaction not from how others perceive your efforts, but from the internal progress you see in yourself. Working in silence teaches you to measure your success by your own standards, by how far you've come from where you started, and by the strides you've made in your personal development. This internal measure of growth becomes far more fulfilling than any praise or recognition that may come later. Silence also creates space for reflection. When you're not constantly seeking validation from others, you can turn inward to assess your progress, analyze your strengths, and acknowledge your weaknesses. This reflection is crucial for growth because it allows you to course correct, to make adjustments to your approach, and to ensure that you're moving toward your goals in a meaningful way. It helps you stay grounded in your purpose and reminds you of why you're putting in the work in the first place. Growth isn't always linear, and it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture when things aren't going as planned. Working in silence allows you to take a step back, reflect on where you are, and keep moving forward with clarity and focus. Another powerful aspect of growth through silence is that it helps you build confidence. As you continue to work diligently without the need for recognition, you begin to trust in your own abilities. You gain confidence in your skills, in your resilience, and in your capacity to learn and improve. This self-assurance is not rooted in the opinions of others, it's rooted in the quiet, consistent effort you've put in over time. When you've done the work and made progress on your own, you don't need external validation to feel accomplished. You know deep down that you are growing and evolving, and that is the ultimate source of confidence. True growth is not always flashy, and it is rarely immediate. It's the result of consistent effort, patience, and the willingness to keep going even when no one is watching. When you work hard in silence, you are giving yourself the space to grow in ways that are often invisible to the outside world. But this quiet growth eventually leads to the breakthroughs, the accomplishments, and the successes that will come when the time is right. In the end, the most meaningful growth is not the kind that happens in front of others, but the kind that happens inside of you. Success is not always about recognition or public accolades. It's about the personal satisfaction that comes from knowing you've done the work and pushed yourself further than you ever thought possible. The concept of working in silence is not just about avoiding the spotlight, it's about building something meaningful that doesn't rely on external validation to fuel your progress. Too often, we are driven by the desire to show others what we're capable of, or to prove something to the world around us. This external validation can become a distraction, leading us to seek approval or praise before we've even achieved our goals. But working hard in silence allows you to remove this distraction and focus on what truly matters: the work itself and the progress you make along the way. When you choose to work in silence, you detach yourself from the constant need for validation. This doesn't mean you stop seeking feedback or improving your work. It simply means that you stop depending on others' opinions to determine your self-worth or your progress. The truth is, not everyone will recognize the effort you put in, and not everyone will appreciate the work you're doing. But that doesn't mean it isn't valuable or important. When you're able to focus on the process and commit to your goals without waiting for praise, you create a space for true growth to occur. You build confidence in yourself because you know that the work you're doing is meaningful, even if no one else can see it yet. The beauty of working in silence is that it allows you to work without the pressure of constantly measuring your progress against others. Society often creates unrealistic expectations, pushing people to achieve and showcase their success in ways that can sometimes feel rushed or forced. But when you're focused on your own growth, you realize that success is not a race, it's a personal journey, one that requires you to be patient with yourself. By working in silence, you remove the temptation to compare yourself to others and you free yourself from the burden of external expectations. This mindset shift allows you to find true fulfillment in the journey, rather than waiting for the moment when others will finally notice your achievements. Another important aspect of working in silence is that it allows you to learn and grow without distractions. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise, the constant barrage of notifications, opinions, and external influences that can pull you away from your goals. When you're constantly seeking validation, you become vulnerable to these distractions, and your focus shifts away from what really matters. Working in silence, however, enables you to stay grounded and connected to your goals. You are free to experiment, fail, and learn without the pressure of having to justify your actions to anyone else. It's during this time of quiet work that you're able to refine your skills, build new habits, and grow in ways that can't be measured by the approval of others. True satisfaction comes not from the applause or recognition, but from the quiet pride that arises when you know you've done the work. This sense of inner fulfillment is more meaningful than any external validation because it comes from a deeper place, a place where your efforts are driven by purpose and personal growth, not by the desire for approval. When you work hard in silence, you create a foundation that is not easily shaken. Whether the world acknowledges your success or not, you know that you've done what you set out to do, and you can take pride in the progress you've made. Additionally, working in silence allows you to protect your peace. External validation often comes with expectations, pressures, and sometimes even judgment. When you make the decision to work quietly, you remove the influence of others' opinions and create a space where you can focus on what's important. You are not concerned with how others perceive you or your work. Instead, you are simply committed to doing your best for yourself. This sense of peace can be liberating as it frees you from the need to seek approval from others and allows you to fully dedicate yourself to your craft. The journey of working in silence may not be glamorous or filled with fanfare, but it is incredibly rewarding. It is through this quiet dedication to the process that we truly develop the skills, habits, and mindset that lead to lasting success. When you work in silence, you are laying the foundation for something that is built to last, something that is truly yours. It is a success that is not based on external praise, but on the fulfillment that comes from knowing you have given your all, from knowing that your work has value, regardless of whether others recognize it. Ultimately, working in silence teaches you the true value of effort, patience, and persistence. It allows you to grow at your own pace, to refine your craft, and to find satisfaction in the journey itself. The quiet moments of dedication and hard work are often the ones that lead to the most profound transformations. It's in these moments that you learn to trust the process, to focus on your own growth, and to believe in the value of your work, even when it feels invisible. When you make peace with the silence and commit to doing the work without seeking validation, you unlock a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment that cannot be found in external recognition. In conclusion, the journey of working hard in silence is one that demands patience, discipline, and an unwavering belief in your own potential. It's not always glamorous, nor does it always come with immediate rewards or recognition, but it is through this quiet commitment to the process that true growth, success, and fulfillment are born. When you remove the need for constant validation and focus on the work itself, you begin to build something much more valuable, a foundation of personal growth, resilience, and confidence that is untouchable by external opinions. Success, in its most meaningful form, is not about the applause or the accolades. It's about the satisfaction of knowing that you put in the effort, made progress, and stayed true to your purpose, regardless of whether others saw it. So stay committed, trust the process, and continue working in silence, because the greatest achievements often come from the quietest of efforts. Let your work speak for itself, and remember, the best results come to those who are willing to put in the time and effort without the need for immediate recognition. No excuses. Success is never a matter of waiting for the perfect moment or relying on external approval to determine your worth. It's about showing up every single day, doing the work, and trusting that your dedication will eventually pay off. When you work in silence, you are proving to yourself that your goals matter more than any distractions or shortcuts. Excuses only hold you back from realizing your true potential. They are the silent killers of progress, and every time you allow an excuse to dictate your actions, you are giving away a piece of your future success. There will always be obstacles, doubts, and moments when the path feels uncertain, but if you are committed to your purpose, there is no room for excuses. The world won't hand you success. You have to earn it quietly, consistently, and without expecting validation from anyone else. Keep your focus on the work, stay disciplined, and remember that the effort you put in now is what will create the future you've always envisioned. No more excuses, just relentless determination to work hard in silence and let your results speak louder than any excuse ever could.